Are you new to Star Citizen? Wondering what to do now? Let's see if I can help. Star Citizen is currently in development, and with that it means it doesn't really have a tutorial for new players. So what I'm going to do is try to help you from the moment that you launch the game to the moment that you can start running around and doing stuff. I'm going to try to step you through that and give you a general idea of how to get around. So with that, let's jump into the launcher and see what you would see right after you launch the game. Alright, so when you first launch, you're going to land on this screen here. And there's quite a few options available to you. The first thing is on the top left, you have the 3 different game modes, quote unquote, that are currently available in Star Citizen. The first one is the universe. The universe is the open world sandbox that you're going to see most people playing. It's where you get to run around and do whatever you want. We're going to come back to this one because this is the one we're going to look more into. Star Marine is kind of like the Star Citizen version of a Call of Duty. It's what they use to focus and hone the programming and development of the FPS aspect of Star Citizen. So you can go in there and do some quick matchup FPS combat. Arena Commander is just the same thing, but the dogfighting side of things. So you can drop in and do quick matches against other players at dogfighting, test out your loadouts for your ships that you have in the universe, and kind of get an idea of how you would upgrade and improve them. There is a PvE variant that's a waveform combat where you can drop in by yourself or with friends and try to live through 10 waves of enemies. So as I said, we're going to go ahead and launch into the universe, seeing as it's what most of the players are going to be playing. So click on universe, you'll be greeted with a character customization screen, and you can either work really quick on creating your character through different pre-made modes that you can customize different aspects of, or if you want to, you can kind of just go ahead with it and come back to it and change the character at a later date. So we're just going to go ahead and skip through that. So once we get into the universe, you'll be greeted with your spaceports and hangars. Hangars are different areas that become available depending on your package. It's a place that you could drop in, spawn your ships, look at them, go ahead and put a bunch of little customizations. Currently in the game, it's just kind of a show-off place where you can put stuff that you've earned through various parts of the game and display them proudly around. There's no current gameplay really associated with it. More of just a little hangout for yourself. The big thing is the spaceports. These are the different areas that you could spawn into the universe when you initially get into the game. There's mainly 3 options currently: Lorville, Area 18, and New Babbage. New Babbage is associated with the new content. We're going to go ahead and launch into the New Babbage and show you, if you drop in there, what you can start doing and what's available. And here we are. So we're currently in New Babbage, and right now we're actually in a bed. Anytime that you spawn into the game, you will spawn into a spawn point. That will be a hab location or a bed at a ship if you logged out from a bed on a ship. So the first thing that we need to do is actually get out of bed. And this is where you start to learn about the interaction system. There's 3 primary ways to interact. The first one is that you hold down F and you can look around and find prompts. So get up on that side. You might have other prompts that are available to you depending where you're at. The second method is hold down F again and actually right click. This opens the radial menu. Here you have all your various character information about your oxygen, temperature, etc. You also have the radial menu. So this will show you different actions available to you in your current situation. So if you're sitting in a pilot seat, you'll have options in here on how to control the ship. Or if you're sitting in a vehicle, you might have various options for accessing remote turrets. Whatever is available at your current situation will be in here. So for us, if we actually hit player, we can exit bed. The last option is actually the keyboard keybind. So you'll actually notice here where it says exit bed, it has a Y. current keybind by default to exit a seat is Y. So we can go ahead and hit exit bed. Once we're out of the bed, we'll start taking a look at what menus are available. The first system that we're going to look at is your MOBA glass. The MOBA glass is how you handle everything for your different apps, where you get contracts, etc. So there's a couple ways to enter it. One is various F keybinds. So F1, for example, will pop up the default MOBA glass. The other option, as we saw earlier, is actually to do your hold F, right click, and then you have inventory, but you can also go to your MOBA glass. And there's different menus, chat menu, comm link, map, but all of that is also, as you see, keybound, F1, F2, etc. So we're going to go into the default menu. Here you have information on your funds, your vitals, the situation externally. So if you're on a specific planet that's cold, has bad air, and you don't want to take your helmet off, it'll give you all that information. What we'll mainly do is start from the left here. First one is your comm link. So as it makes sense, it's your comm link. So various channels, your friends list, the general chat. You also have all the people in that chat that you clicked. So global chat, those are all the people. If you had a party chat, you'd have all the people on the right when you clicked on party chat. So that's how you're going to interact with the world. And you can manage this, change colors of it, change the microphone if you connect to the audio channel. The second option is vehicle loadout. So this is going to be a menu for working with your ship. So you can click on your ship, you can go through all the different adjustments. If you want to swap out drives, swap out weapons, all that's going to be available in here for you to click on and change out when you purchase things, or go ahead and get upgrades or steal them from your other ships. The equipment manager is the same thing for you. So it's where you adjust your outfit, your weapons, armor, utility tools like med pens, oxygen pens if your oxygen's low. So this is where you can interact with your own equipment and gear that you go and buy. You have your skyline. This is the map. So right now you can't see much. If you double click, right click, it'll zoom all the way out and we can see the stand system. You can also double left click to zoom into a certain location. So we're on Microtech, I can double left click. It zooms into Microtech, click it. You can zoom in and actually see the different locations, ports, comm arrays, different jump points, all the information that you would need. Future Tone here. I wanted to make a note that these icons around the planet that have names with arrows pointing towards it are the various outposts located on that planet. They blew them out to make it easier to click them and route to them and find them, but those are outposts on the planet themselves. Now inside this menu, say you're in a ship, you can also click like I want to go to this moon. It'll show you the info on it. You can set the route as well. On your left up here, it'll tell you the different jumps it'll take to get there. It'll also tell you the fuel it takes for your quantum fuel, as well as in seconds, how long it'll take you to get there, to give you a good estimate for length of time. So it's a very useful tool for jumping around the system. So that is your skyline. Next, we have your journal. Not much here. Main use for it is going to be checking out your crime stats. So it'll give you rules on various systems. So like if you're in UEE territory, these are the felonies. Here's your misdemeanors, how much the fine is, general information. It'll also give you in here your crime stat status. So if you have a crime or you get one of these fines, it'll list all your different misdemeanors, how much you owe, and then you can go and get to a station and pay that off before it gets bigger or becomes worse. You have your LiveWorks AR. This is like not a thing right now. You have your vehicle maintenance services. This, when you're in a ship on an approved pad, so like it says well parked in an appropriate pad or hangar, you will use this to restock your ship. So if your ship is sitting on a pad, you can tell them to repair it, restock it, refuel it. This is how you're going to keep your ship up and operational, is you'll buy those services through here. Last but probably most important is your contract manager. This is your quest log / mission, whatever you want to call it. This is where you go to get stuff to do and to make your money if you're not going to do it through other means like hauling and mining. We'll get into those in other videos Some of them, as appropriate, I'll put below. So the big thing here is these are all the different contracts you can take. You could do delivery missions, service beacons, investigations, bounty hunting, all these different things, mercenary missions. These are going to be the different things you're going to do to get paid, to go around and do things in the verse. You have the general list, you have the personal list. This is to you as a player. These might be special missions, but a lot of these can also be illegal missions. So personal is at your own risk. It may be something that's illegal. Typically stick in general, you know it's legal, you don't have to worry about it. Accepted, so you can track your different missions you are currently on. You have your history if you want to see what you've done, how much you got paid. And then beacons. Beacons is your way to reach out to the community. So if you need help, say you want to be transported somewhere because your ship blew up, or you want someone to escort you because you're worried you're going to get killed by pirates or something, you can go in here and actually set up a beacon, and then it'll pop up in their list for them to help you. You see right here, someone actually put out service beacons for combat assistance. These ones are AI, but that's what it would be like for players as well. Big thing with beacons is currently in game at 3.9 patch, there's no way to transfer money to a player directly. It is supposed to come shortly, but the best way to do that right now is you can actually create a beacon for, say, personal transport. You set the destination to where you're at. So if you're at like Kelthahzzarr or station, you set it to the location you're currently at, set the amount of money, send it out, have your buddy accept it, and you want to make sure you monitor who accepts it. Then you just get on the ship at that location, just physically get on it, physically get off it. That usually will then count it as they transported you, and that would transfer the money to them. So it's a nice, simple way to transfer money if they help you out with mining, or you just want to help a buddy out. So get on a ship at a location, set up transport for that location. When they accept it, just walk off the ship, and it usually works. So here I am outside the room. We simply walked up to the door, held F, and clicked on open the door. Out here though, I want to give you a quick show about an easy way to make it simpler to get around. So one of the big things out here is you can see that I walk pretty slow and I can hold shift to run. But on top of that, it's still not very fast. So a quick tip is you can actually increase your maximum run speed or slow it down using the scroll wheel on your mouse. So I can start walking and then scroll wheel up and I'll actually speed up, or I can scroll wheel down and slow down. So if you want to have control as you're moving around, or you want to run faster, you can simply use the scroll wheel to adjust it. And then I can even sprint to go even faster again. So one of the things we're going to do is start heading out so I can show you how to spawn a ship. Wherever you spawn, you're just going to go find an elevator. You're going to go ahead and call it, and then we'll have to transport over to the spaceport. It's going to be different per each city. So you kind of have to follow the different signs and whatever you can to go to the spaceport. For Levski, that's going to be inside the facilities. At Lorville, it's going to be the Tessa spaceport. So you're going to look for signs to the Tessa spaceport. And in Area 18, that's going to be the Riker Memorial spaceport. So you're going to look for the Riker Memorial signs as you're moving around to get there. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the spaceport here in New Babbage, and I'll show you about spawning your ship. So here we are at the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport. So the New Babbage location for where you can get your ships and vehicles. So once you get to one of these spaceports, you're going to go and look for the Vehicle Retrieval Console, or the Fleet Manager. You'll hear some citizens refer to this as the ASOP terminal, but that is an old term. So nowadays it's the Fleet Manager. You'll walk up to these consoles and you'll click on them, and it will give you the list of all your vehicles that are available to you, your different ships. It'll tell you where it's located. It'll give you what kind of ship it is, the cargo capacity, how many crew members can run it, as well as your different options for retrieving it, claiming it if it is destroyed and you need to do an insurance claim. All of that's going to be inside your Fleet Manager terminals. So to retrieve your ship, you simply find one of your ships, go ahead and hit retrieve. It'll then run through the cycle and spawn it at an available location, and it will tell you where it's at. So our ship is in hangar 4, so you can simply back up, locate the path to get there, so the elevators typically that are nearby, and then you can go to your ship in the location that it spawned it. What I believe is the biggest challenge for starting players is learning to fly. There are a multitude of keybinds in this game, and it can be a challenge when you try to fly looking over them. It's ridiculous. So in the description, I have linked a couple of charts that help make it easier to figure out the keybinds and how to fly. These are also going to be available in the Discord as well, so feel free to drop in and check them out there. How I would recommend starting to get used to the game is to fly around until you feel you got a hang of what to do. So go ahead, pick up a delivery mission or two if your ship can handle doing delivery missions. Get the hang of flying your ship. Get used to being at a location, heading off to another one, dropping off a package, picking it up, getting back. Now, once you get used to that, skimmer contracts are also a great one to help you get the hang of combat a little bit. It'll give you a dummy target that you have to go blow up. A few NPCs will spawn trying to stop you. It's not too bad of a combat situation, so it's great to get started. You can move up from that to a bounty where your target's actually trying to kill you, and there's PvE and PvP versions of that. The PvP ones, the big thing to keep in mind is PvE can have spaces in the name for the characters. Players cannot put spaces in their name, so it'll help you if you kind of want to avoid PvP. So I know this is a lot of information, but most of this you will get the hang of as you run around and explore. That's a big part of it, is just getting out there and starting to do the different things in the game. Also, feel free to reach out to the community in the game as well. There are a few bad apples, but most of the community will stop to help and bring you along on their adventures. Just make sure you treat them with respect, and the majority of them will do the same for you as well. I hope this video gave you an idea of how to get rolling and exploring on Star Citizen. Please give this video a like, keep the conversation going in the Discord mentioned down below, or my Twitch streams at 12:30 Eastern, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Until next time, see you in the verse. I broke my enter key.